everybody, my name is Puppetine from I Love Puppets, here today on I Love Puppets today for, well, if the title card didn't say it enough, what if? But today, I am not alone, not unloaded indeed. Let me go ahead and introduce our co-host before we ask the question. Froggy!
What if I was Zach? That'd be weird, wouldn't it be?
It would be. It would be.
This whole entire time I was Zach.
You were Zach all along.
Yeah. More important question is, what if I was asleep?
That is a good question. Well, the truth is, there's no sleep. There's no sleep. Because why? Because what if? And what if today, whew, it was a doozy. But before we get into that, we're going to go ahead and give a little warning. A spoiler warning. Dun, dun, dun. Because this is a recap and review.
Yeah. We're going to spoil the crap out of this.
Yeah. You didn't have to go like that, Froggy. You didn't have to say that word.
Well, I don't. Fine. You want me to use the S word?
No. We're going to kick the butt out of these spoilers, is what he means to say.
We're going to spoil a strange out of this. I use the S word.
We're going to spoil it strangely.
It's only strange if you think it is.
Well, let's go ahead and get into some of these comments before we dig right in. Marani is saying I expected something completely different given the title of this episode. Tillium says, will the Frog Zach make an appearance? Oops, I meant Froggy and Zach variant. Well, Zach could not make it. None of the Zachs could make it. Froggy didn't kill him. Don't worry. Froggy didn't kill him.
No, I heard it was some girl.
Ida, right?
Yeah, Ida. Yeah.
We can hope that Marvel Zach makes an appearance. Yeah, no, his power is out. As Tillium says, Electro Zach needs to help him.
Not with that water.
Finally, Marani says, this episode will be spoiled, strangely and supremely. Indeedly do.
Like a taco.
What?
What? Supremely. I think a taco supreme.
Oh, we're ordering at Taco Bell. I see. Well, enough is enough. It's time to get right in. So, the question is, what if Doctor Strange had lost his heart instead of his hands? Which I thought was a silly kind of title. I really did. But
I skipped the title and just went right into it.
I mean, it is the question, so it's right in there.
Well, yeah, I just want to see us. So basically, the question is more like, what if he went evil? Yeah,
because this really shows him fall. Because his point in here, his point that makes him become Doctor Strange, that makes him go into the mystic arts.
In this universe. In this universe, he doesn't, wasn't him losing his hands. Like in the main universe. This one is basically him and Christine are still together, never broke up, and she dies in the car accident with him.
Yep.
And I gotta say, this is very heartbreaking. Oh my gosh, this it's like the first 10, 15 minutes of this. I was just like, the dude's trying to do whatever he can to go back in time and do the butterfly effect. And no matter what he does, she stays dead.
No matter what, she literally just dies dancing with him.
Yeah. She choked on a pizza. I just want to know, who was the guy who just drives the car into him from behind? I would think Strange would want to find that out, but he doesn't. And this ultimately leads to him going into the Sanctorum, him learning the mystic arts, him defeating Dormammu. I've come to bargain. And then he settles and he ponders. He ponders the past. And Wong suggests to him that maybe they should go and he should join him for a cup of tea before he does anything foolish. Okay, well, and he does.
He does. Yep, he tries to go back over and over again. We see him try and fail until finally, back in time, at that point.
He doesn't try and fail. No, he
tries and he fails.
No, he succeeds at failing. He doesn't try.
Oh.
Try and try again, but he'll never bring her back to life.
Yeah, and finally, the Ancient One, in like 2016, when it's supposed to be, comes and she ultimately says, "You can't do this. You got to stop." But he won't stop. And finally, he's about to disappear when she blasts him with some kind of arcane.
He gets knocked, and he uses the Agamotto, and he goes and he went. Yeah, and he basically wakes up in a strange jungle. There's a guy staring at him, has a red eye and a blue eye. Yeah. Well, it was some kind of strange magic. And so there's this guy, and he finds out this guy. First thing the strange does, he looks at his chest, he looks up behind her, he's like, "Whew!" That Agamotto saved him from being like fried with crispy chicken.
Yep.
Yeah. So he finds the basically the lost library of lost books.
It is an ancient lost library, yes. And the librarian actually gets along with him, and he says, "How long will we be staying?" And Doctor Strange says, "As long as it takes." And so he's learning how he can break a fixed point in time, because her death, Rachel McAdams' death, Christine, her dying is what makes him become Doctor Strange. Thus, it is a fixed point in time. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And ultimately, he reads that to perform this feat, what he's going to have to do is absorb the magic of others. So he tries first with what looks to be the squid monster that Captain Carter fights. And he fails. But then he goes ahead and he summons like a garden gnome, and he needs to not have any mercy. He just absorbs it. This is really a cool.
This is funny. The guy's like, no, he gets absorbed.
Like that.
That was weird. Do it again.
No. Like that.
No. No.
We have a good time here on I Love Puppets. But quickly from there, he keeps building up. He just absorbs all the energy that he can from these mystical beings. And ultimately, it starts to change him. He hasn't aged a day, but he's been there for years and years as the librarian gets to a certain point and he dies.
Of old age.
And he wants to, even though Strange offers to save him. And Strange can't accept, can't accept death. And that's when he learns that he's not the only Doctor Strange, that there's another. And that's when it's revealed that when the Ancient One blasted her arcane magic at him, it actually converged two timelines. One in which Strange did go back in time and try to save Christine, and one where he goes with Wong, and he the Wong way was right.
The right way or the Wong way?
Well, the Wong way is the right way to go. We learned that. But sadly, because this is the same universe now, because the Ancient One used dark magic to conjoin these two, this means that there's two Doctor Stranges, and the evil Doctor Strange wants the power of the first. So the first one prepares the good Doctor Strange, and then he is taken.
Yep.
This leads to a battle because the other one tries to appeal to his sense of love for Christine, but the good Doctor Strange realizes, no, this isn't love. This isn't love.
It's an obsession. Delusion. Greed. The obsession with having to fix everything. It's just his OCD.
Yeah. And this leads to an awful fight, and Cape's lost. And
oh my god! And I gotta say, the animation in this, it just makes the other three look bad. The whole everything, the darkness, all this, the demons, the magical blasts, the capes are fighting against each other too. It's just hilarious. Cape versus cape.
I will have to take one moment. I will have to take one moment backpedal a little bit. Why? Because when he was absorbing the power of these beings from other realms, there was a moment where the Watcher spoke about how he could come and he could warn him, but he probably wouldn't. He doubts that he would listen. And at that moment, we see him in the background, and Strange stops.
Before this, though, he said even if I interfered, the chances are it would destroy the other universes.
Yeah, it could destroy the other universes. He has to protect the multiverse. But in that moment, Doctor Strange hears the Watcher, at least like an echo of him. This is the coolest part because he is opening himself to the greater forces of the Marvel universe.
I want to know, before we go any further, did Loki in his whole TV series, when he created the multiverse, did he create the Watcher?
No, the Watchers existed since Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Cutscene with Stan Lee at the end.
Okay, I just it was kind of weird because what was their point if there was no multiverse? They just watched over one universe?
Well, yeah.
That was weird.
But anyway, this leads to this epic final fight. But the good Doctor Strange, losing the cape to the hands of the evil Doctor Strange, he destroys it, and my heart was a little broken. That's when he gets the upper hand, wipes away the last protective rune on the Doc's head, and then he
reaches in there, goes, "Here, let me wipe that off for you."
Yeah, and they are one Strange now. That's when they bring back Rachel McAdams, Christine. They bring her back to life. But Strange at this point, he is an amalgamation of all the creatures he's absorbed. He's monstrous. Yep. And she freaks out. She's going back and trying to crawl away as the world is literally falling apart around him.
Yeah, and the same thing is happening to her. It happened to everybody in there, all the human beings. They're becoming like black, like the atmosphere, like space, and just kind of deteriorating. Kind of like, with what happened to the people when they turn to dust? So that they're turning like this black liquid and just being erased away into the black and nothing.
Yeah. It wipes from existence.
And she even said, like, it's like, you're a monster. What do you destroyed the world?
What have you done?
Yeah. And then he even goes and then the Watcher appears and he's like, he's like, you can save this, you have the power to do this. The world should be punished for my mistakes. I wonder if that's when he absorbed the other good Doctor Strange. If that's him speaking.
I think that might have had an effect. I think you're absolutely right. Because it all comes back. Once he has what he wants, it doesn't matter. The world is falling apart, and he realizes she's falling apart. And he begs, he pleads to the Watcher who's standing right there. And the Watcher actually speaks to him, saying, I cannot interfere. You should know that. And that's when he goes ahead and goes. And Doctor Strange watches as her last words to him are, Stephen, what have you done? And he's left alone on this last rock of the universe. The rest of existence wiped out.
Yep.
And the Watcher ends saying how one choice can end the universe. And I got chills. Oh man, that was so good. It was and you know what? It was excellently paced. So, see,
I want to point out though, I love these kind of stories where the person tries to go back and save someone, and slowly corrupts them, or because if it didn't, there would be no price. There'd be no consequence of you trying to change a fixed moment in time. I mean, he's so tortured. He's just so distraught. The love of his life is gone. He has no purpose. But instead of going out, killing himself, he just like, his OCD took over. Now I have the power. It's like, what if you had the power to go back and change time? Would you do it? No, like we've seen this in other comic books. We've seen this in Flashpoint with Barry Allen in the DC universe, and he created a whole new world, and everything, and just destroyed everything. It's a very tempting, and it's kind of scary to see what would happen,
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and go into some of these comments before we give our final kind of thoughts. Marania saying some of the facial rendering is a bit off. but in general, yes, the animation is amazing.
I didn't really notice this time around. I didn't really notice this time at all, the facial rendering being off. Everything was moving so fast.
Yeah. Ed Brewer is saying, sounds like you really liked it. We loved it. I loved this episode. It was fan-freaking-tastic.
I like the third one, Black Widow, because I'm a Black Widow simp. But, man, this is Doctor Strange. I'm like, just give me the Doctor Strange movie now. I don't want to wait the next year or whenever COVID decides to push it back to.
Red Ninja Striker is saying, dude, what if Doctor Strange from No Way Home trailer is the evil Doctor Strange? I'm not sure if that's the case. A lot of people have noticed in that trailer that Strange seems a bit off. I don't think he's evil, though.
Well, I will say this, though. There is a chance, well, maybe they might not do this, but if this evil Doctor Strange, remember, they're going through times if he does this by creating the spell, what if he runs into that other Doctor Strange?
A lot of people, and I've heard that there's a rumor that the main villain of the Multiverse of Madness could be the evil Doctor Strange. I'm not sure how much that holds up. We'll have to wait and see. Doctor Strange sees Peter Carter.
I don't know who Carter is, unless you're saying Agent Carter. Maybe.
Yeah, well, no. We saw in the trailer the evil Doctor Strange does get to be in the same area as Captain Carter, which is a little odd, but we're going to have to wait and see. And Marani is reminding people to contribute to the Ko-Fi, yes, so that we can read more stories for classic puppet theater. We really love doing this channel, and we love just giving as much time as we can, but we need to make a little money to do that, because otherwise time is just a little too hard to fit in. And Thor. He was, I guess, evil Doctor Strange's scene was Thor. I'm not sure about that. I can't really remember. It's been a while since I've seen the What If trailer. And Red Ninja Striker is excited for the zombie episode. You know what? I'm interested in seeing how they go with it. Marvel Zombies.
We've seen different versions of Marvel Zombies. The last Marvel Zombies was good, but the original one, not really a fan of it.
You know what? I'm not a big fan.
I'll say the reason why, because this last one was more like wasn't really zombies as it was more like the Brood, kind of like mixing. So, and the fact that it was based around Peter and Franklin and Valeria.
But I think that about does it. So my real thoughts of this episode is that it was fantastic. It might be some of the best MCU content we've gotten in the past, well, ever. It's just astounding how they could tell this story. And with What If, we've heard a lot about pacing being an issue. Some of these stories are oddly paced. I agree with the first one and some of the second one.
Yeah, this one went really fast.
This went by fast, but it felt like we got everything. Nothing felt like it was rushed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I kind of want to see what the other Doctor Strange did in his time. Before the H1 said like, oh, there's an evil one here. Like, because I want to see what he'd been doing since did he join with the Avengers? Was it his Avengers experience different at all than what we've seen in the movies? Or is he like the current one that's, and this is like a what if, bad ending for him?
I don't think it's the current one, because the current one lost his hands. This one lost, Christine, and that's what drives him into.
But you know what I mean, though. Like even like to lose his hands, he still chose to be good. I'm curious what's different in his world compared to the other ones.
It's 4:00 in the morning for us, Red Ninja Striker. Oh man, we stay up late for this show, but it's so worth it. I love it, and I can't wait to continue it. I decided to stay up tonight and join you, because I got to get up early and go to the comic book store in the morning. Well, good luck to you, Froggy. But I think that about does it for us. We want to go ahead and ask you to please like and subscribe. We were trying to build up a base, but we got to have more people following, more people watching. We really love doing this, and we hope the people watching love us doing this. We also ask you to comment. Let us know your thoughts. You heard ours. It's only right that we see yours. And finally, please consider checking out the Ko-Fi. The Ko-Fi lets you leave a tip, and it helps us buy books. Why do we watch books? Why do we buy books? To perform them on classic puppet theater, which is a newest show here on I Love Puppets, but we really love to do it, don't we, Froggy?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, until next time, we really just want to say thank you. And speaking for Froggy and myself, just that thank you is warm and true. But until then, we say bye!